Hello and welcome to Hot Indonesia, where we humbly offer our passionate opinions. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's HI Hot List. Going global, what the new president must say and do at upcoming international summits. On social media, is there freedom of speech on Facebook? And Fashion Face, who is Indonesia's star designer? Here every week beside me now in our fourth year. 4 years together is Rahayu Saraswati, Sarah. Yes, first year parliament member and actress of the month, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And next to her is Yeni Wahid, director of the Wahid Institute, daughter of the fourth president of Indonesia and proud graduate of Trisakti University. Yeah, hot topic number one. Going global. President Jokowi is off to his first international meetings representing Indonesia. He's in Beijing for APEC, then Myanmar for ASEAN, then the G20 in Australia. All important gatherings of regional leaders anxious to meet the head of the world's fourth biggest country. It's Jokowi's global debut. You know, one of the points in the campaign was that could the former small-town mayor stand up to the Xi Jinpings and the Angela Merkels? I'm sure that he will be well briefed, if anything else, and be ready to go. I'm confident that he'll be prepared.
I think so. I mean, look, he's been in executive function. He's been doing that, since mayor and then governor, even though for just 2 years. And he's got a good, I think, a good team of foreign affairs advisors also traveling with him. And I think he's briefed, like you said, on various issues that matters to Indonesia and the world as well. So, and I think one issue that they would like to hear about from him is how he reformed the city of Solo under his leadership.
Okay.
That was
one
particular issue.
And I mentioned the campaign because the contrast with your uncle was more of a global guy, and Joko Widodo was more the domestic guy. So are you confident in him heading into these?
I don't know if I agree with that assessment, but I know what you meant by it, but I don't know if I agree with it personally. In terms of...
What do you mean? You don't agree with the domestic international?
Yeah, the global, one was more global, the other one was more domestic, because I think both were really focused on building the country and focusing on the domestic issues.
All right, but your uncle had seemed to have more.
I think in terms of being more aware of international issues, I personally think perhaps my uncle Prabowo Subianto had more of a touch on it, but
he's been around a little more.
Yeah, well, in terms of international relations, especially during his time in the military, he was very much aware of that, and we also had really good elite force. But back again to the subject, I think that I agree that President Joko Widodo has good advisors. He should, and now we have a new foreign minister. I'm more on the level where I'm one of those wondering or curious as to what will actually happen. I'm not going to draw on assumptions.
Not much is going to happen in these introductory meetings, basically.
But that's the thing, though. I do hope a few things. I do hope that he will show that he will be a strong and decisive president that will represent Indonesia in a way that won't undermine our power in ASEAN or in the world.
Growing power,
as a very, very much strong growing power, which I think that the other countries are aware of. Now we just need to make sure that President Joko Widodo is strong in that.
I've heard that bilateral meetings are being lined up with Putin and Obama, among others, but those are the two main guys. The photo ops will be fabulous. Everybody's going to go crazy on that. But more important, President Widodo must show that he has a grasp of the issues in these, especially when he deals with the foreign media like ISIS, South China Sea issue, and
there
Ebola.
You go. You just mentioned one that I was seriously thinking of, because I've heard of concerns, especially from my party. We've mentioned it. Prabowo Subianto has mentioned it on the debates one time, which is the South China Seas issues, because Pulau Natuna, one of our islands, is actually located there, and people have said that they have sighted just a few hundred meters away from the coastline, China already drilling for oil. And so that would affect the economy in that area and the population there. And so I would like to know what President Joko Widodo's view is on that, because he wasn't quite clear in the debates.
Well, he's going to just continue the line of the DEPLU, or the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Then it means that we're just going to be a friendly stance against that kind of intrusion, because the JetBlue stance has been that we don't have any issue when it comes to the Natuna obstructions, basically, by the Chinese. So I think Martina Talagawa had been repeatedly saying that we don't have any disputes with the China with regards to the South China issues
other
and the
ASEAN
Natuna
members have a more
Island
direct
as well.
stake in this.
Yes, and Indonesia had actually tried to mediate
Yeah.
on the issues between all these other countries. And
No, I'm not saying that there should be conflict. I'm merely saying that we do need to make sure that it doesn't go beyond.
We protect what we
border.
got.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
All right.
As in, let's be friends, right?
Yeah. Okay, I mentioned the
Keep that
media.
foreign
The good
policy.
test is at the when they have the bilateral news conference. You got Obama and Jokowi, and they're going to ask questions of these two guys. Here at home, there's a love affair. I mean, reporters generally
Yes.
love this guy, so there's not much, critical kind of question. But when he goes before the foreign media, they're going to ask him stuff, and he's got to be ready for that. He's got to
gotta
know.
be ready,
I mean,
yeah.
and if he doesn't know something, he just got to say, "I don't know." I mean, you can't fake things.
the other question is, how is he going to converse with the president? Is he going to use interpreter, or is English
Right.
is good enough? I mean, that's the other issue, right? But you can
think
use
he's got to use
And
it.
we
yeah.
know that in APEC,
But-
there's one meeting where no interpreters, nobody else except the presidents are allowed in that meeting.
Well, China premiers and all that, they don't necessarily speak English. So it's actually quite common.
I think all they do
But-
is say, "How are you? I'm fine. How are you?" that's all they can say,
But
right?
you know what? Jokowi was quoted as saying, when
hope nobody says anything important.
Yeah, all right.
Jokowi, when he tried to
don't
convince the international media, he said, or the international investor, he said, I think he was quoted as saying that I might have a face that looks like I come from a village, but actually I have an international brain. That was his quote.
If I were
So
him,
we'll
I
see
would just
how it's
listen
gonna
a lot and shake my head like that, and only.
Now you're undermining him.
No,
Come on.
I mean, I'm just from a media standpoint. I would only speak with what I have knowledge of and what you're briefed on, and then walk away looking presidential.
That's,
Maybe it's his
that's
arm around
President
Obama,
Communication 101.
Yeah,
right?
I can help him. All right.
Look, George Bush is never around. I mean, he never set foot outside except for Mexico. But
Let's not go to George Bush. That's a whole other time, man.
For his presidency,
Yeah.
to be president.
Hot Indo will continue shortly. The price of being unsocial.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hahn, and this is Executive Golf. Good shot.
Executive Golf, only on the Indonesia Channel.
Indonesia's first 24-hour English TV channel is here, with an exciting mix of programming to inform and entertain viewers around the world. The Indonesia Channel offers something for everyone, from world-class lifestyle shows like Yoga Bliss to the hottest music hits and artists on iPop. News and information are an important part of the Indonesia Channel, with Today's Indonesia and ASEAN Today providing what you need to know. International hosts such as Lorraine Hahn, Jamie Aditya, Caitlin Turner, and Dolphin Tanonaka are among the faces you'll see. Movies, dramas, travel, and more are all on the Indonesia Channel for the world to see.
Exhale, reaching down to triangle pose. And exhale takes you down into flying monkey. It shifts forward and then start to fly. Come follow me on my travels every week on the Indonesia Channel.
Yoga Bliss, only on the Indonesia Channel. Best of Bali, only on the Indonesia Channel.
You're watching Hot Indonesia with Sarah, Yenny, and me. Here's hot topic number 2. On social media, a satay vendor from East Jakarta was recently released from jail after a couple days. His crime, defaming the new president on Facebook. A high school student in Riau was expelled after criticizing his teachers on Facebook for being late. And disciplinary action is always in the minds of managers who read employee grievances posted online. You know, no one likes to read criticism about themselves, of course, on online postings. But is it a crime? No, I say no. Generally, no. Life-threatening posts, vulgar, going beyond the decency thing, that's another thing. But criticizing someone...
issues, but not a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why does Indonesia seem to be moving toward...
Because the satay, in the case of the satay vendor, what he did was he uploaded pornographic content.
Well, I don't know if you saw the images. He photoshopped heads of Jokowi and Mega, his party leader, onto bodies and made them look like they were doing things. So, I mean, you know, and he said he just posted it. He didn't create those images.
I actually did not take a look at the pictures. To be honest, I didn't want to.
Yeah, like a mother. I mean, it wasn't like them having sex. It was like mother and daughter, mother and son, like nursing him like that.
Oh, so it wasn't actually sexual pornographic.
No.
Oh, because everybody made it sound. See, this is where we need to
really like
we need to do our research. I think we do need to open up those pictures.
Maybe I didn't look carefully enough.
They made it sound as though it was pornographic, as though it was actually sexual.
I didn't see that. No.
So okay, that's interesting. That makes it different.
There's a line, of course.
There is a line, yeah.
But our electronic law is being interpreted, I think, too overzealously. And I think people are getting thrown in, and people feel it's political. And we can't have them thinking that.
It gets very dangerous when it involves political figures, public figures who have big stake, and then it becomes the big guys versus the little guys kind of thing. And the other question is, I suppose, is the intention. Okay, they said that this satay vendor has always been very anti-Joko Widodo or something. But I guess the question is, what's the biggest harm that he could do, right?
There are millions of people against Joko. He didn't
47% of the people voted against it.
Right.
You know, it's not the brightest thing to do, but I don't think it's criminal.
But to be honest, I mean, for example, someone actually posted a picture of my uncle, Prabowo Subianto, in a Hitler outfit. Yeah. Right. I mean, nobody actually. Nobody.
That's not illegal.
We're like,
just
somebody.
Poor
Okay,
taste.
You know, it's
poor taste. Yeah.
There you go.
Is it criminal?
But
No.
there was a case in which someone was posting his ranting about being an atheist. And
he got thrown in jail as well.
Yeah.
But is that against the law?
Well, the thing is, Indonesia is very clear when it comes to that. We need to adhere to one supreme God. So that's the constitution, right?
And 5 recognized religions, right?
Well, not 5 recognized religions anymore now. No.
It's not.
Because the constitutional court had issued a decree that says that there's no 5 recognized religions. There's no recognized religions now. So actually, in reality, in legally, you can adhere to anything.
Anyone or not believe.
Well, the not believe thing is a different thing because of the one supreme God.
Okay, that's a religious issue. Now, the Riau student.
No, that's really interesting because never mind.
But that's the Facebook also. But that's
to do with somebody else that I shouldn't say it.
And you know, we advocated for him to be released and all that. But
which one is this? The satay vendor.
Not the satay vendor. Sorry, the atheist guy.
Oh, the atheist guy. Okay, yeah. That was last year.
It was the same thing.
You know which one is interesting, though? The one that you mentioned, the student who criticized the teacher and got thrown in jail?
No, he got expelled from
school.
Sorry. No, here, let me read you what he wrote on Facebook.
Right.
He just said, late students are punished, but if teachers are late, no problem. I mean, all he's commenting on that. He gets punished, but and then he got expelled. That's overreacting.
That's over.
Come on.
For me, I do that all the time. I comment on things that are.
Yeah, you were a little late this morning. But
I was.
But I'm not expelling you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You should expel him for saying that.
No. But listen. Okay. Let's get into.
Use your power as a member of parliament.
No, let's talk about the workplace now. We talked about politics. Employees who post comments about their co-workers or their bosses, it's not illegal, but not very smart. I mean, you don't
You're
criticize
right,
the hand
you're
that feeds
right,
you,
you're
but
right.
it may make that person feel better for a moment, but it creates a bigger problem. So that's pretty
I
stupid. If
think
you
that's
ask
a
me.
very good tip, Dalton. You should tell people out there that, hey, if you want to criticize, just don't do it on the, do it in a private setting, yes, but if you do it on a bigger
But
social
does it make
media
people
setting.
feel good to vent publicly, to
You know what, to
call
be
out
honest,
your-
I'm guilty
Some
of
people,
that.
yes.
I'm guilty of that. I don't mention names a lot of the
They know
times.
who they
but-
are, though.
No.
Oh.
I make it very general. I just do it like as though people,
And
this
you
is my
do it
pet
in your
peeve.
final
Just don't
words,
do
too.
this.
You
I
do it-
do that a lot,
Yeah,
yes, Dalton.
yeah.
It makes me feel a lot better to know that other people
But people
might
have
feel
gotten
the same
fired
way.
from jobs for this, and so it's not very bright. And in a private workplace, you can get fired. The government has no say in that, right?
Well, we've had an experience of that.
You don't
matter.
get fired because
Not
of what you
us,
said.
personally,
Right,
But
right,
we
right.
know someone.
you get fired for all sorts of other excuses, and they find other.
Yeah. You can't fire them for posting their comments. I don't mind reading somebody criticizing me, but if it goes over
But
the
you-
board or
the-
illegal, then that's something else.
the
But
reason
you
why-
gotta have a thick skin.
The reason why it's not smart is because other employers might take a look at
Very
that
good point.
and be like, well, I don't want him or her to work for me
Yes,
because
yes.
what
Not
if
very
he
smart.
or she won't like
Do it to me.
something,
Yes,
and then they
yes.
would do the same thing.
All right.
So it's not smart.
Okay, so if it's not a crime, it
It's
shouldn't
not
be
a crime.
prosecuted, but it's not smart to do anything like
not,
that. Okay,
right.
more Hot Indo is coming up. Do we have a star designer ready for global catwalks?
Indonesia opens up my heart. Unforgettable. Love is just the start. Indonesia touches my soul. Keeps my heart always warm from the cold. A very beautiful place. And a friendly smile. Heaven is this place on earth, wonderful Indonesia. The power of love, the rising of love. All your dreams will all come true in Indonesia. I like Indonesia. You will always be in my heart. I love Indonesia. You gave him the faith to start. Go, Indonesia. Go, Indonesia. Go, Indonesia. Go, Indonesia.
The Indonesia Channel for the world to see.
iPop is your guide for Indonesian music videos and Indonesian artists. Want to see Indonesian artists? Watch iPop playlist.
Good shot.
Executive Golf, only on the Indonesia Channel.
Hi, I'm Chinta Laura Keel, and you're watching the Indonesia Channel for the world to see.
Matches.
Passion for Fashion, only on the Indonesia Channel.
You're watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Here's hot topic number 3, Fashion Face. Jakarta Fashion Week just wound up in the capital with 200 designers showing off 2,600 pieces of new work. The goal is to create a catwalk buzz, then win interest from buyers who fly in from around the world. You know, many want to go global, of course that's a goal, and they want to be the next Stella McCartney or the Vera Wang. Who are our superstars?
For me, it's Sebastian.
Sebastian
Gunawan.
He's one of the top.
And
his fashions are, how would you describe them from those who don't know his stuff? Flamboyant, colorful, apa? Nani? I'm speaking Japanese.
Glamorous but wearable. You know, practical but very haute couture at the same time. You know, so it's a mix of all things. You know,
and you wear his stuff. You wear his stuff.
When I could afford it. Yeah. The good old days, you know.
Okay.
Financially and as well as physically as well.
Okay, so Jenny, you'll always be fashionably fit. You know, his is contemporary kind of design. Should we be pushing globally contemporary designers like or cultural fashions?
I think both. A lot of our designers actually managed to put that together. For example, Oscar Lawalata just did a whole Japanese collection this time, and then of course we have people like there's Gea, of course, Gea Panggabean, amazing, and she just did her show in Milan.
And Tex
Saverio, who has gone.
Lady Gaga was probably the most global guy,
but only because you know his dresses have been worn by
and that's what people. You need to get noticed. Have a celebrity.
Did it?
I was going to mention. I was going to mention that last bit. Come on, give me something to be able.
Your cousin.
Yeah,
right?
my cousin. Here's the thing. A lot of people just don't know it. They don't because he's very low profile.
He is.
But his line is constantly, he does a show twice a year in Paris for his line, and he's not haute couture. Haute couture is different. It's very John Galliano and everything, but couture. And so he does his lines, which is, you know, very exclusive, and again,
so he's known more outside of Indonesia than in Indonesia, actually, yeah?
Well, yes, because his market is very specific.
Yeah,
but a lot of people in Indonesia still go and try to get his dresses because he actually uses, again, traditional materials. He has them made, custom made, and then he weaves them, he puts them together.
Local.
Oh, very much so. But there's one designer I cannot forget to mention, which is Bian Wira.
Oh, yes, of course.
I mean, his ready-to-wear is also...
Yes.
To die for.
Is there any fashions for men that I can push here? I mean, these are all female designers.
I would push. Actually, my cousin did it almost. He wanted to do a male. He wanted not yet.
Another did it also. Did it Maulana?
Did it Maulana does male line. Yes, Ikat.
And the key is getting a celebrity to wear it. Then you instantly get noticed and get in People magazine. And then
I want to look at the new designers as well, though, because of course
and that's
these
where
ones
they were
the
at the Jakarta Fashion Week.
Exactly, and they're very promising.
We got a lot of names in here. Okay, it is feedback time now. Please let us know what you think of today's show or any show in our history, whatever you want. Sianto posted this on our Facebook page. Amazing broadcast in our country, only this channel. Well, that's a nice vote of approval. Thank you very much, Sianto. If you have any feedback on what you've heard or would like to suggest a subject for us to address, please email us at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com or comment through our Indonesia Channel Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Final words right here, Jenny.
I have a friend who's a divorcee, and she ran away from an abusive relationship, and she's now a single mother who supports her only child. But she told me that she faces many sneers and comments and bad comments about her status as a divorcee. And here in Indonesia, there is still that sort of taboo when it comes to being a divorcee. The term here is janda. So, I think it's time that we're done with that kind of social discriminations. People don't choose their situations or the status of the relationship. They just want a happy, loving relationship with, if they could find one. Well, meanwhile, let's just give them some break.
All right. Is she next?
I was thinking, I think Dalton here is going to be wondering.
Final words, Sarah.
Right, after a long time, of course, after the Red and White trilogy, now there's another movie that has come out. this Thursday, and I hope you get the chance to watch it. It's called Gunung Emas Almayer. Why? Because I'm in it. And it's actually, no, it's seriously, it's a very well-made movie. It's a film festival standard. It's absolutely fantastic. It's set in 1830s. It's based on Joseph Conrad's Almayer's Folly. And if you're a fan or if you're a student of history, anthropology, of civilizations, costume, even cinematography, I would recommend you to watch this movie because it shows all that, and it's time to support Indonesian, Malaysian, Australian.
Do you have a clone?
English.
When do you have time to do all this?
I did this actually a while ago. It's one of those Hollywood movies that took a long time to do.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Post-editing. Okay. My final words. The old saying is never do business with friends. Generally a good rule to follow, along with never lend money to friends. But if you do, you'll really know how good friends they are when the first rough spot hits. Real friends will support each other, not criticize and run for the exit. And see Sarah's movie. That's Hot Indonesia for this week. I'm Dalton with Jenny. See you again next time.